for this channel. Um, while I am doing this discussion topic, I will be playing Dead by Daylight as Michael Myers, obviously, because the discussion topic I'm doing does involve Michael Myers, so that obviously makes sense. Um, with this discussion topic, guys, we will be discussing the newest movie and the storyline, what the likes and the dislikes are about the movie. I obviously should have done this a lot earlier, but for some reason I don't think I did. So, with that being said, guys, let's get into the video. But first, I will put out a spoiler warning. If you have not seen Halloween, if you have not seen this newest movie yet, you might want to go see it before watching this stream. Well, are you gonna see it, Echo, or probably not? Well, actually, not the. Actually, the newest one is pretty different. But, anyways, but yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, and wants to see it, and does not want any spoilers, rather, stop watching. Otherwise, spoiler warning is over. And here comes the discussion topic. Out of all the Halloween movies, Halloween has steered with one killer, Michael Myers, which, sadly, in the third movie of Halloween, it didn't involve Michael Myers. It involved the mass killing people, and they all saw that was bad. And then, came back to Michael. This newest movie is just called Halloween. It's not called Halloween 2 or anything. It's just called Halloween. And this movie takes place after the first one, making all the other Michael Myers movies non-existent in their timeline. Basically, guys, it's instead of 20 years like H2O was, it's 40 years after the first Halloween happened. Michael Myers was picked up after he was shot, taken back to a mental asylum, and has stayed 40 years there while people have been, we basically had another different Dr. Loomis. Obviously not exactly Dr. Loomis, but because bless that man's soul, he has recently passed. But anyways, it's 40 years. Laurie has had a daughter, but their relationship broke down because, as we all know, guys, Laurie Strode did keep her resurrection attitude and was saying, "Oh, I'm so what's that called? Caught into wanting to take out Michael, and so yeah." Otherwise, like I said, she has been to the position where family has, like her daughter has all but abandoned wanting anything to do with her. Granddaughter doesn't, knows her mom's lying every single time that she says, "Oh, did you talk to grandma?" No. So all that other story crap. And she's still very traumatized about the first time that Michael chased her. But the biggest point that they made in the movie to take out was the relationship between Michael and Laurie. In the movie, they specifically point out that Michael is not Laurie Strode's brother. It was in the movie. They basically look at it. It was even said in the movie that just like, oh, that was just a rumor. Somebody decided to make up to I guess, make themselves feel better or something. Otherwise, Michael Myers and Laurie Strode in this movie, which sadly they are taking that route, basically making it to where Michael and Laurie Strode are, you know, not related, so that kind of blows. And obviously a doctor is really upset. This doctor is really obsessed with Michael. So, you know, he follows him while they are transferring Michael. You obviously know that's never gonna work, and Michael breaks out, makes the van crash, and Michael breaks free. Killing a man and his son, which honestly, actually, guys, if you guys remember in the movies, Michael Myers never actually technically killed a little kid in the whole time he was in any of his movies. So Michael Myers did actually kill a little kid in this newest movie. Yeah, he actually killed his first actual kid. Because most of the time he's like the only people he's killed were teenagers. So yeah. But yeah. So that's something new that the movie directors did in the movie. But like I said, Michael Myers is not Laurie Strode's brother, and I don't know. And if you guys like that, that's okay. I really disagree. But right now, let me continue on discussing, and then I'll get into that point. But yeah, after that happening, Michael Myers does what Laurie Strode knows he's gonna do, and she's basically has a ton of guns. She uses dummies for target practice, and she's ready to basically go to war with Michael. Michael does, act his weird old ways and hunts down these two counselors. Hold on. He catches these two reporters, comes back to Haddonfield, and the best shot in this whole movie is when Halloween is having, and everybody's dressed up Halloween, going in the streets, and like I said, the best scene in that movie was seeing Michael just walk through the streets of Haddonfield and nobody freaking out at all, because, they all think it's Halloween. They all know it's Halloween. They see this man coming, just walking normally. Which, that's like one of the things that makes Michael Myers like the best killer in the world. That, in Halloween, you can just be walking and you bump into a man with a white mask like Michael Myers, and you never suspect that, oh shit, that's actually a killer. But he kills a couple people out of sight, obviously. The granddaughter is celebrating at a party. Finds out her boyfriend's a piece of shit. Obviously, that's how a lot of boyfriends in horror movies are. Basically, then Michael Myers is just, like I said, going on his massive killing spree. He kills a couple of he kills a babysitter, kills her boyfriend. What else does he do? But um, obviously, sad to say, you know, he doesn't kill. He obviously doesn't kill Laurie Strode, which I will say that now. Yeah, she actually, when it comes down to it, like I said, I'm gonna skip a little bit. Basically, the cop that was, I think it was the first cop that, yeah, one of the old cops that answered the first call that, they had made when Michael Myers first decided to kill his sister. You know, he got killed by the therapist because he's so driven to know what Michael Myers gets out of killing. So basically he backstabs the cop and it's just like, yeah, you're dead now. Cop, the therapist takes Michael to where Laurie Strode is, her house. And in an attempt to try to get Michael to say something, he says Judith, which causes Michael to wake up after getting ran over by the cop. And he goes and kills the therapist by stomping his face in, which is badass. After that, he goes and kills the daughter's husband, Roy. Kills him. Then becomes fuck, I got it spoiled. Dude, well, if you haven't seen it yet, go. Just you know, if you haven't seen it yet, please leave the stream so I don't spoil anything else for you. You got 5 seconds to leave before I continue. Alright. Yeah, thank you, fuck, thank you, man. Anyways, continuing on with the discussion while, we are losing somebody watching it because, you know, I'm not spoiling, I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, so that's what we're doing. Anyway, guys, Roy sadly dies, after Roy dies, it then becomes, oh, what am I trying to say? Then he tries to kill Laurie, but she uses a shotgun and shoots off a couple of his fingers. Yeah. Then it's just a massive scare spree for Laurie because she's trying to find him and, he can't find her. Well, she can't find him, and plays massive mind games with him after he stabs her and throws her out the window. He looks out and she's gone. Basically the same trick as what he did in the first movie. Daughter finds her daughter, and then, you know, Michael comes out and she shoots him. Laurie's right behind him, beating, you know, starting to fight the shit out of Michael. And basically at the end, they trap Michael in the basement that they had and tries to burn him. Obviously, and at the end, the family is getting out of there while the granddaughter is holding Michael Myers' knife. Now, here's the big issue. Now, after that explanation is over for the movie, now it's time to go on to the discussion about what the problems about. Well, here's a. Well, first, okay, we'll do good parts, really good things, and then bad parts about the movie. The good parts about that whole movie was, the good part about the movie is that it is actually pretty terrifying, especially when they're doing the jump scares, because they actually made the jump scares pretty scary. It's not as expected. So there's that good thing about the movie. Storytelling is really good. The bringing back Laurie Strode was magnificent in the movie. Michael Myers being the deadly killer that he is in the movie was perfect too. Basically, there's not a lot of bad things about the movie that people can say about it. So yeah, it's a really good movie. Go see it. But but now it's time for the discussion about a little of the bad things about it. One of the bad things about this, and this is my personal opinion, a lot of people are glad they got rid of the sister-brother relationship between Michael and Laurie. But my problem is and this is a connection type deal, so it relates to two movies instead of just one movie. The reason why I'm saying that this whole relationship about Laurie and Michael being destroyed, that really doesn't make sense about destroying that brothership, because here's the main problem with that whole scenario. Michael Myers and Laurie Strode were not said to be brother and sister in the first movie. The first real life movie, it was a random occurrence. Michael just found her and did everything he could to chase her down. Now, that's understandable for every killer. Every killer, you see a survivor, you see somebody, you're not gonna just let them escape. You're gonna do everything you can to kill them. Now, the big problem with it is that if you guys remember, Halloween 1, after that ended, it instantly started up Halloween 2. There was no 5 years, a year, a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5. You get what I'm under. You obviously, understand what I mean. There was no time apart from Halloween 1 and 2. Once Halloween 1 ended, it instantly jumped to the second one. The very first instance. That's why even when you watch the first movie and then you didn't skip the second movie by like maybe a couple of seconds, you automatically come back to seeing the gunshots happen from Michael. You hear Michael get the gunshots onto him, and him falling out the window. That's basically where Halloween 2 starts out. Yeah. So Halloween 2 picks up right after that. So really, guys, you can't change up that whole and Halloween 2 is said to still be that same night, and that is when we do get the notice, the realization that they are saying that Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are officially brother and sister. You can't really come out and say, oh, you know how we said Halloween 1 and 2 were on the same night? we're changing it up to where Halloween 2 didn't happen, but we're going off of Halloween 1. That's messing up a really good story, because that makes sense. Why would Michael Myers risk a lot of his time that he could be going for other people? Why would he risk going after Laurie Strode every second he had? That really kind of doesn't make sense. If he's like, alright, I'll see you later, Big. So, it just really, it doesn't make sense, honestly, for the storytelling and anything else, because, like I said, you know, Halloween 1 and 2 are the same night, same day. You really can't look at that and make a movie trying to and say these two movies aren't the same. You can't say that. Oh, you know how we said Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister in this one? Oh, we're gonna change that and say he's not anymore. You honestly really can't do that unless you want to be making, well, can't say you'd be making a hypocrite or anything, but you'd be ruining a great storyline that you've built from so many Halloweens. Now, I can admit at one detail of wanting to do that, because if you guys remember in Halloween Resurrection was a movie that continued off of Halloween H2O. Laurie Strode thought she killed Michael Myers and found out it wasn't him. It was an officer it was a paramedic that Michael Myers cracked his voice box to where he couldn't speak, and Michael put his mask on him. So, makes sense, but also it's kind of like, why do that? What I was saying is, why go out and say, oh, Michael, you know how you used to have a sister, you don't have that sister anymore because we changed up the storyline. Like I said, you make a storyline of him being brother and sister with Laurie from the same night of Halloween. 1 and 2, like I said, they're both the same night. You can't really change that. You really can't change it up and say, oh, Michael and Laurie aren't brother and sister because Halloween 2 doesn't exist, but Halloween 1 still does. That kind of makes you look at yourself, thinking, wait a second, how does 2 exist without 1? Because, like I just explained, they're both the same night. So really, that would honestly confuse a lot of audience members, even especially me. I think that confuses me a crap ton, because same argument, they're both made on the same day. There's really nothing that makes sense after that. And I think that's what they were going for when they said the Halloween 2 doesn't exist, because they wanted to get rid of the other Halloweens, which I can understand getting rid of Halloween H2O. Well, not H2O. Halloween Resurrection. Halloween a Resurrection, Halloween, what else is there? The Curse of Michael Myers. I can understand wanting to get rid of those because really Curse of Michael Myers got way too confusing with trying to explain why Michael Myers does what he does. Okay, this guy is really making me upset. Sorry guys, this man keeps going loop-de-loop on me. So yeah, that's my main problem with it. But yeah, otherwise, Halloween H2O to me was, you know, Curse of Michael Myers was actually a pretty good movie in my defense, because I like how they brought back the curse in the second one. The second one, there was a actual curse. They did make a reference of a curse in Halloween 2, and they brought it back, saying this is why Michael Myers does what he does. What's up, Kraken? So, you know, I like how they brought it. They said, hey, remember this curse deal that we brought back in the, that we brought up in the, in this one? How about we use that? We use it and we could do a crap ton of stuff with it. Make sense on, like, do the biggest question that everybody has on their minds and say, hey, why does Michael kill? What is the one thing that drives him? There's the thing. But then you have, but, you know, when you canceled on us and said that Halloween 2 was not the real reason, like, you know, he wasn't the sister anymore, you basically are now making it all convoluted and saying that Michael Myers is just a person who wants to kill somebody because he didn't kill them before? What about Tommy? One of the kids he tried to kill before. He didn't go after them again. He went, you know, he's been going straight for Laurie every single time. So there's that little loophole. And yeah, in the Curse of Michael Myers, he goes after Tommy, but that's still going into the you know, confused storyline of the Thorn deal. So basically, like I said, you kind of made the whole storyline all confusing, and yeah. So there's my reasoning on that deal about the whole, you know, and also another really big game changer that I personally really think would be the best thing to think about. Is that think of this, guys, and this, guys, is actually one of the biggest plot things I like. One of the biggest arguments I have in the whole deal is this. Why would Laurie Strode be so broken up about being you know, hunted by Michael? I mean, yeah, every person's gonna feel at least some personal trauma about being chased with, you know, being chased by a killer. Every person is. And if you're not, then good job on your mental state, because God, you're stronger than I am. But you're stronger than a lot of a lot of survivors that tried their hardest to survive and not cry about a certain situation. But we all have saw the mental state that Laurie Strode Laurie Strode can be in. She loses her daughter, and obviously in the movie we didn't see her cry about it. So, we all know Laurie Strode is really tough. There's no doubt about it. But still on the same detail, you're still, even no matter how strong you are, there's still going to be some pain. There's still going to be some agony that you're always going to be thinking about, like saying, oh God, why did he go for me? So there's that point that, every survivor is going to have a mental state, a mental breakdown, because they're like, why? Out of everybody, why did he choose me? And when it comes to somebody, and then when it comes to someone saying that, Michael was her brother, that makes a whole lot more that makes the trauma a lot more better in that sense, is why she was crying and screaming, and why she could not, was not being able to hide, to move on from Michael for as long as she did. In 40 years, she did not ever move on from what Michael did. She always constantly said, no matter what, I know he's coming for me. And I've been waiting for him, and he's been waiting for me. That already sends chills so much down your spine. So, with that whole thing just being said right there, how can a person that has survived, how can a person that has no family connection with this killer, how could she possibly know that Michael Myers was waiting for her as much as she did? And why would, and yeah, it could be coming back to the whole thing where it's like how Chucky did with Andy Barclay in all three of his movies, and all, like the first three movies, and then The Cult of Chucky. All three movies, he basically two movies at first. Two movies, he did nothing but try to go after Andy Barclay. The first one, it got to the end before he decided, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to come after you. But then in the second one, he did nothing but go after Andy, because of since Chucky told Andy who he was, he had to transfer his soul. That is a purpose. But with Michael not having really any purpose to kill Laurie, except she was the one who survived that night, kind of makes it sound a little bit stupid, because honestly, Michael Myers, if that's the storyline there, if that's the basis of what they're gonna go with Michael Myers actually, if that was the case, Michael Myers would have had to do a lot more, like, what's that term? A lot more, serious killing. Because like I said, if they're gonna go with that theory, then look at it this way, guys. There's been a lot of people who have survived Halloween night. A lot of people that honestly probably didn't hear about it unless it was on the news, and you know, they were like, oh, who's this Michael Myers guy? We've never heard of him. Well, yeah, you've never heard of Michael Myers because he didn't come after you. I mean, honestly, yeah, maybe that whole theory could work, but again, like I said, it really can't work like that because, like I said, if you know, if Michael Myers was that type of killer to where, you know, he's all mad because Laurie survived that night, then honestly, he's gonna have to be mad at every single person that is alive on the living earth that survived Halloween night because he didn't kill him. But that, with that being said, that's kind of a stupid thing to make Michael Myers feel because we already know this, just like Michael Myers would know if he's the actual killer. Excuse me, I can't kill, you know, I can't honestly kill everybody on the living earth because, you know, I can't be 100 places at once just to kill somebody. So there's another reason why I said that, you know, you can't really have a connection, like, you can't really make a character have a connection that strong with the killer like they did with Laurie unless it was a family connection. So that's basically my reasoning why I don't like the excuse that Laurie and Michael Myers are not brother and sister. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the on that storyline because again, like I said, guys, this is my personal opinion. I know a lot of people probably do like how they decided to say, "Hey, Michael, you know, we're gonna make it to where you don't have a sister. You killed your only living sister, and you know, feel happy about that." Which, I mean, you know, like I said, if you guys are okay with that, then sure, you know. Thanks, K2. Yeah, you have a good night, man. But yeah, that's my whole thought process on this whole situation. Good, you know, it's a good thought, but it's just something I just wish they didn't do because of the reason, like I said, that I just wish they would have kept it basically simple, easy and simple, instead of trying to make it all confusing and say, oh yeah, this is why Michael Myers is killing this lady because, oh, she survived my night like millions of other people did. So yeah, guys, with that being said, that's my reasoning on the story. Like I said, if you guys have any disagreements with what I said, please tell me because this is a discussion. It's obviously made for you guys for me to be talking about something that I like or don't like. And you guys tell me if you like it or not, or if you do if you like it or not. So yeah, with that being said, please, like I said, tell me so I can look at your guys' opinion and maybe I missed something that you guys didn't miss, or you know, like I said, we can exchange different ideas and it'd be fun.
Pokemon Dead by Daylight?
Yep. Yes, I am. But
I noticed that because I went to go check out your live.
But yeah, anyway guys, that being said, like I said, I will talk to you guys next time with another discussion topic. Peace. Love you guys and see you guys next time because I'm probably gonna get upset and I don't want you guys to hear me yell because of these really, really douchey survivors. Yeah. Peace, guys.